I found a new product, a switcher that is really going to help our podcast and might be able to help you. There's been a lot more products come out with features that I didn't know existed or features I didn't know I needed until we started doing this podcast. And now that I see that podcasts are growing, and we had talked about, like, look, if you're going to do a podcast, you should probably do video. For somebody who doesn't know anything at all and just like does an audio podcast, it could be complicated. But these switchers really they changed the game. So once you figure out that part, so I was like, okay, I have HD SDI cameras that we're not using. Can't use them here on this set. So what if I had a switcher, that had SDI inputs? So then I was like, okay, well, what if I had a switcher with SDI inputs that could switch itself? Is that possible? Do they have such a thing? And can I find something affordable? So I started using ChatGPT. I went in there and I put in all the different things that I was looking for, because the other thing I want hard drive recording and I want ISO. You taught me that.
Yeah.
Okay, that keeps limiting it down because you're going to get up there in price. You start ISOing, this switcher is a miracle. I didn't know.
Yeah, we're using the Blackmagic ATEM Mini Pro ISO.
ISO,
which for those that don't know, ISO stands for isolation, meaning it's recording each camera entirely.
Yes.
The whole time. It's also recording this switch. So when you see the cameras switching, we're getting a recording of it already edited.
Yes.
But you also have an unedited version with all the inputs separately recorded.
Back in the day, when we would go out on a location, some guy would bring an extra Betacam deck, and he's like, look, I got one camera over here that's ISO that we're recording all the time. Just because,
It's a backup to have the whole thing.
That's right. So when you introduced me that a switcher could do ISO, which I didn't know that it could do, by just sticking a hard drive in it, I was like,
solid state hard drive.
Yeah, well, yeah. I was like, this is amazing. So I was like, all right, I want to make my wish list. I want HDMI, I want HDSDI, I want ISO, I want more than 4 cameras. I also want multiple type C inputs because I want to be able to run a camera that is, a webcam, but I also need a port to still record on, and I want internal recording of the switch.
Okay.
So that's my list
is there one that exists, is the question.
I just happen to have one sitting over here that...
Okay, I haven't seen this. I'm getting giddy.
Yes.
I'm getting giddy because I haven't seen this.
Yeah, it's not... I haven't even opened it out of the
Joey's
box
excited,
yet.
too.
So what if I told you I could put in 8 cameras, 4 SDIs, 4 HDMIs?
That's my wish list.
Yes.
Okay.
That didn't know existed. It exists.
As you were saying this, what I was thinking is I couldn't get the internal recording or ISO, but there was the old ATEM that I used to have was a rack mount that I used to have. The original ATEM switcher would do that. It had 4 HDMIs in, 4 SDIs, but it didn't have internal recording. And I was using that, and as you were saying it, I was like, you know what? That old one would work here since we're auto switching. The software would work identical because it does have the network input, because that's one of the tricks to this, which is for this app to work, the iPad the ATEM have to be on the same network so they can find each other.
That's right, yeah. We struggled with that at first because we couldn't get them to find each other.
And then once we did, everything became easy.
Yeah. Well, we still had to work on it.
It took us a while to get
to the audio mixer.
Yeah, we still had to deal with the audio, getting it to be... Because the only way this works is if each microphone is on a completely separate track. Yeah. So what we do is we do hard left, hard right, but treat them as mono.
Yeah.
And we tell the app which microphone equals which camera.
That's right. So what if I told you... So a switcher could also have, just like what you've done, where you have the software for it, so you can not have to use the switcher and use your laptop. Your menu settings could be as simple as your inputs and what you ISO record you could set up. So what if you could ISO record all 8 cameras?
Okay.
And what if you could go in the menu and just select which ones you wanted to ISO? So say you're not using...
So you don't have to waste a whole recording.
Yeah. So you can just set up how you want. And then what if you could turn all of it, your selection from SDI to HDMI, like in the sense of switching what type of input is going in the input just through software.
Okay. See, I didn't think this existed, so I'm very curious.
Right.
Here we go.
This might have just come out a couple months ago. This brand, I don't know existed. So here it is. Oh, shit. This is called the Go Stream Duet 8 ISO from
Aussie.
Yeah, Aussie. And again, I haven't even opened it up yet.
So yeah, because one of the things that's a criticism is when Blackmagic came out with their first ATEM ever was a rack mount.
While you're doing that, I'm going to open.
Yeah, there was originally one that was a rack mount that was really weird and thin, but it worked amazing, but you had to have a computer connected. Then there was the next version, which is one I had, which had the buttons on it, but it was still rack mount. And it still had 4 SDI, 4 HDMI.
Oh, is that right?
It was really nice to have that switch. But once they went to these little ones, you have to choose between SDI and HDMI. And it was always a problem because I have some cameras that are SDI only, and you always have to convert them. So let's take a look at this. Now, I want to see this.
Yeah, so you got 2 Type-Cs, your network input.
XLR audio inputs.
Yep, that was the other big thing.
So you have the networking.
So it will do audio follows video or video follows audio switching built in.
Okay, so what it looks to me like is it's an 8-input switcher, right?
That's right.
So you have 8 inputs, and some of them, so there's 6 HDMIs and 6 SDIs. So some of those those are probably 6 each of those, and it looks like the USB in is for webcam.
Exactly. That's right.
So one of them is an input.
Yeah, and the thing is, originally what I found out was it really was an 8. When people first bought this, you couldn't put 8 inputs in it.
Yeah, you can't do 8 HDMIs or 8
Well,
HDI.
you couldn't get 8 cameras regardless, one way or another. It needed a firmware upgrade that they didn't. People didn't know that once it got the firmware upgrade, that it was going to be able to do everything that you see on the back there. So they didn't tell anybody. There's a few other key things with the audio. I think there's also some minis on it as well.
Yep. There's 2 mini inputs. So like if you're using the like Rode Go's or the DJI mic system or any of those, the Hollyland ones, you can go in with those.
Yeah.
Or you can go in XLR from like a mixing board, similar to what we do. We can go straight in.
That's right. You go straight in. And then there's in the menus, every button is menu controlled that you can change around to set up how you want it to work for yourself. It seems very, obviously there's a lot of ifs, but this is what is going to go up in our tech room. And when we start our tech podcast, because it's a mixed bag of cameras, that's what started this whole thing. And if it can auto switch, which we'll have to figure out, I mean, it says it can. And the fact that we could go audio directly into it with XLRs, and then you have your own mixing on it and gain control. Everything that we have right here in this mixer
is built into this.
Built into that.
This is incredible. I mean, I've noticed over the last year, there's a ton of companies producing little switchers like this to compete with the name brand ATEM.
Yeah, absolutely.
And this one is one where they clearly listened to what Blackmagic wasn't about mixing SDI and HDMI.
Yeah. Well,
putting the XLR inputs directly on without this breaking the bank.
Yes.
So what does this normally retail for?
Yeah, there you go. So the price, $795.
That's it?
That's it.
Because the 8 input from them is over $1,000.
Yeah, I know. I went and looked at all of them.
Yeah, because I have the ATEM Mini Extreme with 8 inputs, but it's 8 HDMIs.
HDMIs, yeah. Yeah.
And I would have liked it if they'd done 6 and 2.
Yeah, even if you just had 2
Even
SDIs.
if you had 2 SDI ins.
Yeah.
Or like this, the alternate. You can choose.
Yeah, yes.
which is what you used to be able to do on the older ATEMs,
I see.
and they haven't done it since.
How they figured it out and kept at that price, I can't tell you. But from what I have read, and of course, we're going to have a lot more input, it doesn't get hot, because I found out that there are switchers that have fans because the cheaper ones get extremely hot, and 4K.
This can do 4K?
I have to go back, but I'm pretty certain all those HDMIs can do 4K.
Interesting. Now, the one flaw from a functional standpoint, if it's not going to affect us with the auto switching, but the only thing I see that's a major design flaw is this right here, is they have auto and cut. And they put auto on the bottom where you're more likely to hit. That's for transitions when you fade between things. Making that in the primary hotspot was the only design flaw I've seen yet.
Interesting.
It's the only flaw, because you're far more likely to hit it on the bottom than on the top.
Yeah, you sure are.
In the middle of everything.
Yeah, you're
right.
You
want straight cuts 99% of the time.
Yeah.
But they do love the fact they also they actually did something Blackmagic keeps fighting, is a T-bar.
Yeah.
They do a fader.
Yeah.
But the T-bar, and look how small and inexpensive that is. But an actual T-bar to manually control your fade between two inputs, having it as an actual T-bar that you can see there, that is awesome.
And then right in the front is your SDI, is your card slot up in the to record the. So it's very easy to get to.
Little SD slot right here where you can actually just put in an SD card. And the SD cards are pretty fast, so you can actually do internal recording as well.
Yeah, for the switch.
Yep, and it has a US for the switch, and then you have the SD or USB-C to go to a hard drive for the ISO records.
That's right.
Oh, this thing is great! I cannot wait to try this out.
Yeah,
I mean, I'm a big fan. I've been very loyal to Blackmagic, but I'm happy to try that out. Well, I think it looks awesome. It looks like it hits all the marks.
If it didn't have the auto switch, that's important for us.
Yeah,
but the problem is I couldn't get to a price point unless I went only SDI only,
which is also a problem.
Yeah, that's a problem, because I can't. If we're going to do an overhead camera,
it might be a DSLR with HDMI.
Yeah. And then I thought about the Osmo, so the Osmo is going to go in there, no problem now.
That to me is one I want to make sure we try.
Those other cameras that I haven't been able to use for anything,
put them in the mix.
It should work. I don't know, but I was like, man, the value of this than buying another camera, right? Or having to bring your own your other cameras over and all the hassle,
and always having to tear them down.
So for $800, I can't buy. So my 50V with the lens was, I think, $800. I think. Do I just buy another camera and then still have to have a switcher? Am I accommodating the switcher, or can I have the switcher accommodate
me?
Yeah.
And that's where this looks like it's working out. Yeah, I'm very excited about this. And so the model's the Gstream, is that what it's called?
Yeah, but it's called the Duet.
The Duet.
That's what's the Duet 8, meaning,
8 inputs.
And then, as you showed me,
ISO.
I was like, and I wanted to make sure. I was like, okay, because I don't want somebody using the word ISO, and it doesn't mean I'm going to not be able to record those cameras.
Yep.
Because I got to have that. So for the review videos, if we're going to do 3 cameras on tech, and we can ISO all of them.
I can't wait to try. I love experimenting. That's the other thing, is that's what makes what we do as an industry fun, is like we're perpetually learning and we're perpetually using new equipment to learn things. And that's the thing, is what also it's like, it's getting more fun where it's getting less expensive to do what we used to spend tens of thousands of dollars to do.
Well, I would have never even looked for anything like this, because I didn't even know the value of it until we started all this.
Because where this